Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today's video is going to be a different kind of video. I decided that every now and then I'm going to post a video where I just kind of rant about something. I do this a lot in my personal life. It's almost always fitness related because honestly there's a lot of things in the fitness world worth ranting over. So I thought I'd throw some of these up on the page from time to time. This is meant to be a little bit educational, a little bit entertaining, and might offend some of you, but kind of what I'm going for here. So, a little disclaimer, and I will probably swear a lot more in this video and any rant videos than I do in my typical videos. So if you're at work or you're around kids or anything like that, I warned you. So today I'm going to rant about something that I tend to rant about a lot because I hear people talking about this and it just fires me up. I'm going to talk about why you're not achieving your goals. Because the reasons you think you're not achieving your goals are so vastly different from the reasons you actually aren't achieving your goals. So I'm going to talk a little bit about both. Let me jump right in. One of the reasons a lot of you think that you are not achieving your goals is based around the I'm special theory. That there's something special about you that prevents you from either, losing weight, getting healthy, building muscle, whatever. Something specific about your body. You work different than everybody else. And I hear this all the time, and for the most part, all of our bodies pretty much work the same. Yeah, there are differences in the way we respond to certain stimulus, but at the end of the day, if you eat in a surplus, you'll gain weight. If you eat in a deficit, you'll lose weight. That's pretty much true for just about everyone. And when I say pretty much, I mean totally. And when I say just about everyone, I mean actually everyone. So this excuse, and it goes, people like to use genetics. That's kind of like the main link with the I'm special. I have these special fat genetics, so I'll always be fat. My mom and dad are fat, my whole family's fat, so even if I lost a little bit of weight, I'm always going to be big, so it's just not worth it to me. I've heard this line of thinking, and it's just so based in bullshit. It's just really a mountain of bullshit that you're using as an excuse to be unhealthy. And I'll explain why it's bullshit. Well, first, yeah. There are genetic predispositions. You can be genetically predisposed to be overweight or obese. This is possible, but that's all that is. It's a predisposition. There's nothing about your genetics forcing you to be fat, period. It just isn't true. I saw an e-card on Facebook the other day. It cracked me up, but there's a lot of truth to it. It said, it's not that obesity runs in your family, it's that nobody runs in your family. I get it, they're trying to be funny, but there's a little bit of truth to that. It's not all genetics. You get more than just genetics from your family. You get your lifestyles, your behavioral choices. A lot of that is passed down from your family. And if, you have an obese family, it's likely that they don't eat very well or exercise all that often. And I'm guessing if you're obese, it's because you don't eat very well or exercise very often. And now, this is another one I hear all the time. Fat people will say, I don't know what's wrong. I don't eat a lot. I eat healthy things and I work out and I'm still fat. Well, you're eating more than you think. I'm sorry, but you are. I've just not met many men that eat 2,000 calories a day or women that eat 1,500 calories a day of mostly healthy whole foods that are fat. I'm sorry, I just haven't met you. I don't really think you're out there. If you are, then I stand corrected, but in my life, I've not met that many of you. You might think you don't eat a lot, but have you ever really counted? And when I say counted, I mean you're weighing and tracking every single thing you put in your body. When you start doing that, you will blow your mind about how much you're actually eating, because you're eating more than you think, and you're not eating as healthy as you think you are. You're basically fooling yourself. If you're fat, you're eating too much and you're not working out enough. I'm sorry. This is just tough love. You need to hear this because it's true. You know, another excuse that all you guys make, you know, I just don't have the time. I would eat healthier, but tracking and counting, that takes so much time. And I would work out, but I'm just too busy. You know what? You're not. You're never too busy for your health. What is more important than your health? I just don't get this. I'm too busy. You know, oh, I've got kids and I need to... Well, don't you want to be alive to spend more time with those kids? Don't you want to teach those kids healthy behavior? I mean, figure out a way to incorporate healthy lifestyle in your everyday. You know, it's not hard. It really isn't. Find a gym that has a daycare attached to it. Bring the kids with you. You know, get them involved in fitness when they're old enough. Make it a family event. You know, you're too busy. I work 40, 50 hours a week. You know what? You only need to exercise 3 hours a week. 3 hours in the gym, lift some weights. 3. That's less than 2% of your total week. If you want to do, then say 3 days of cardio, you know, so you're lifting weights 3 days, doing cardio a half an hour. That's all you need to do, half-hour cardio 3 days a week. You're now working out 4.5 hours in a total week. It's less than 4% of your full week to be, you know, a little bit healthier. And as far as like tracking and weighing, that doesn't take any time. I'm sorry, I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. It takes me less than 5 minutes out of my day to weigh, track, and plug in to MyFitnessPal my entire day worth of food. So your no time excuse is bullshit. I don't buy it. You have enough time. And here's another one. This one, it's kind of a no-brainer. All right, I get too hungry when I diet. Well, deal with it. You know, you're dieting. Every now and then you're going to be hungry. There are ways to keep hunger at a minimum. You know, choose whole foods that give you a lot of volume in comparison to their caloric content. Vegetables, lean protein, you know, things like that. But you know what? There are going to be some days when you're dieting that you're going to be hungry and you're just going to have to suck it up. The longer you eat at a caloric deficit, the more used to it you will become. You know, you didn't get fat, like I said, eating 2,000 or 1,500 calories a day. You got fat eating a lot more than that. So if you're constantly hungry, eating an acceptable amount of calories, you have yourself to blame because you've just been used to eating so many for so long. Trust me, the hunger will eventually go away. But in the meantime, that's kind of your, you know, we'll just call it what your punishment is for allowing yourself to get so accustomed to overeating. But stick with it, it'll go away. That's not why, you know, sorry, you're hungry. It happens. Now, here's some of the actual reasons I think a lot of you guys are failing to actually meet your goals. Some of you pick a diet that sets you up for failure. You've set yourself up to fail before you've even started. You're doing the hip new fad diet, you know, oh, there's this new low carb diet that I'm going to try out, and it all involves, you know, eating all my carbs before 2 p.m. and then after, you know, crazy, stupid bullshit. Any diet that has a complex set of rules with timing of meals and super restrictive at one point, but then eat whatever you want at another point. Any diet that sounds super sexy, you know, it's got some kind of twist to it or whatever, yeah, it's probably bullshit. There's a reason that flexible dieting has been around for so long, though it's gone through name changes, because it's the best. Here's my video on flexible dieting if you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's basically pick a number of calories, pick a target macronutrient goal for the day, and eat whatever you want to hit within those numbers. That is a diet that's not going to set you up for failure. You know, let's just use low carb for example. Let's talk about how stupid low carb is. It's absolutely setting yourself up to fail because you've taken an entire macronutrient out of your diet. You've restricted yourself immensely. Carbs. What kind of foods have carbs? The best kind. You can't go without eating carbs forever. That's just stupid. It's so dumb. You know, you're gonna eat carbs because they're delicious and your body likes them. Your body uses them to fuel your workouts and just fuel your everyday life. There's nothing magic about eliminating them. You've just taken, basically you're lazy. You picked a low carb diet because you're lazy. Rather than tracking your food and figuring out what you're actually eating, you just said, let me remove carbs. If I take carbs completely out of the equation, I'll probably be in a deficit. And yeah, you probably will, but as soon as carbs come back into the equation, that deficit will be gone, so unless you're going to commit to eating low carb for the rest of your life, which is moronic, you've set yourself up for failure. Plenty of other examples. Does your diet involve replacing meals with shakes? Let's think about how stupid that is. What's less satiating than a shake? How quick can you chug a liquid shake? What is that going to do to keep you full? It's not going to do a damn thing. Don't replace meals with shakes. That's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. That just blows my mind that anybody out there would think a meal replacement shake is a good idea. Just idiotic. You know, don't set yourself up for failure. Next. This is why most of you aren't achieving your goals. You're lazy. I'm sorry, you are. It goes along with the other things. You're too lazy to count your calories. You don't have time to go to the gym, aka you're too lazy to go to the gym. Finally, and this might apply to a lot of you, I know when I was obese, this was my problem. I was undermotivated. I really didn't care. I mean, I wasn't one of the people who gave excuses. I never thought that there was something special or something wrong with me or I had fat genetics. I just didn't give a shit. Now honestly, I almost respect that a little bit, just a teeny bit, because you're not being delusional. You know you're fat, you know it's your own fault, you know you probably should change, but you're just undermotivated. So if you're at least willing to admit that, I have just a shred more respect for you, but at the same time, get motivated. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and seeing the person you want to be looking back at you. I can't describe how good of a feeling that is for me every day when I wake up. And you might not even comprehend how great that feels until you get there. And even when you're not quite there, even when you don't look exactly like you want, when you can wake up, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look a whole lot better than I did 3 months ago. That feeling, the first time you have that feeling, you're hooked. You're set. You're not going to fail. Once you get that motivation, even if you have no motivation to change, force yourself. Pull it from anywhere and just make that first initial 3 month go at it. When you wake up and you look at yourself and you go, dang, I look so much better than I did 3 months ago, you're golden. From that point on, you're not going to have trouble. Once you have internal motivation to change, you're set. Once that's achieved, just hold on to that. And if you're constantly making progress, you're never going to lose that. But anyways, let me just sum it up. You're not special. Your genetics don't mean shit. Don't do a stupid diet that is just setting you up for failure. Get internally motivated. And that first time you see that change, believe me, you're set. I hope you were informed as well as entertained here, and if you fit the description of the person I was yelling at, I hope I offended you a little bit, and I hope I motivated you to change. If you have any comments, drop them in the box below. If you just think I'm an asshole, tell me in the box below. Come on over to the Facebook page, links down in the description. That's really it. I'll see you guys next time.